What are some baby names you have heard that you thought the parents lost their mind? Anakin Skywalker. They let their son name his younger brother. They were an advanced level of hippie, but wonderful people. Was always hard to call this kid Anakin with a straight face, especially since it's my cat's name. Mickey Mouse, but spelled Morse. Peter Pan. Max and Ruby when the show Max and Ruby was big. And my neighbor's twins, Candle and Light. All their legal names. Honestly, Max and Ruby aren't bad at all. Pretty cute. My brother went to school with a kid whose last name was Jones, whose parents let the older sibling choose his name. Guess what name he chose? Indiana. So yes, my brother went to school with Indiana Jones. My poor nephew just turned 1 this month. Happy birthday, Chaos. Danger. Their son is named Danger. Thankfully, that's just my middle name. Frankadot. Spelled with the hyphens. Her dad was named Frank, and her mom was named Dot. I couldn't even. It's like naming a kid our little cream pie. No, that is definitely much worse. I know a couple whose last name is Walker, and they named their daughter Sky. Okay, that is brilliant actually. Fun fact, the only reason anyone is named Samantha today is because of the TV show Bewitched. When the producers made that show, they intentionally picked a name for the main character that nobody had actually used in over 100 years, so that it would sound old to me. Then the show was so popular that people started naming their daughters after the main character. My cousin named her son Anakin. For the worst reason ever, she proudly told everyone he was her Dark Knight. His father is black, she's white. She was in her 30s and had a nursing degree when she did it. I can't even. I really can't. I interviewed a guy named Endurance last week. So there's that. Please tell me he was being interviewed for porn, because that's hilarious. Nah, space program. I have family members named Sufficient and Evidence. They all go by their middle names. Sufficient. Lol, that's like being called good enough. In the Philippines we have a national holiday called Bonifacio Day to celebrate one of our national heroes named Andres Bonifacio. Someone I know has a son that was born on this day. If you thought that they'll name him Andres Bonifacio, then you're wrong. They named him Bonifacio Day. My professor adopted one of her foster children and allowed him to choose his own name. He chose Luke after Luke Skywalker, and I thought that was cute AF though. Luke is a much more normal name than Anakin. Can we call him Arnie? Pubert. When I was in a sales position, I met a woman named Diploma because her mom wanted to make sure she stayed in college. Guess what she didn't have? In Australia there was a custody battle of a girl whose legal first name was Tallulah Dazahula. She was so embarrassed she just told everyone to call her Kay. The judge made her a ward of the state so she could change her name. Were they naming a girl or a thoroughbred racehorse? Can't be a horse. Maximum 18 characters, including spaces, for a racehorse name. Subscribe for more horse facts. I went to school with twins named Mr. and Sir. Those were their legal first names. Is anyone else having Hulse flashbacks? Yes, Mr. Sir. Many African American parents, especially in the South, would name their children things like this so that people would have to call them with a title of respect. Source: a 90-year-old man named Sir, who was the son of a Sir, and had a brother, Mr., and another, Judge. Wasn't that Mr. T's thought process behind his nickname, also? Yes, it sure was. Source: I read it on Reddit. I knew siblings named Adam and Eve. Also knew sisters named Farnoosh and Barnoosh. EWW. You win. Naming kids Adam and Eve is the creepiest combination ever. Huh. What's so weird about it? Here in Alabama there's lots of siblings named this way. Why? I went to school with a brother and sister named Romeo and Juliet, and my neighbor named her twins Cersei and Jamie. I live in Alabama and for real know a brother and sister named Mary and Joseph. Last name Lear. They named their daughter Shanda. I wish I was kidding. Parents naming their kids after Game of Thrones characters need to be smacked upside the head. Seriously. What kind of monster would name their kid John? Hey, to be fair, Arya is a great name. It is very popular in India and means noble goddess in Sanskrit. Thoughts and prayers for all the girls out there called Dani, Daenerys, or Khaleesi. Go to any elementary school on awards day and just take a listen. My daughter has a JZ. Yes, that's the kid's legitimate first name, in her class this year. She's had a money before. My son was friends with a boy named Freedom. And I'm sure there's worse. Teenage pregnancy and they both decided to name their son Goku. Yeah, I just feel sorry for the kid. OMG, I have a cousin named Goku, in Texas. I used to tell my Japanese friends about it and they said it was like if some named their kid Mickey Mouse. There's a Mickey Mouse in this thread. Some couple named their son Naruto. According to the tweets and his birth certificate, his birthday is coming up in 2 weeks. An acquaintance of my family named their son Pikachu. I don't know them personally and I'm having trouble believing that story, because I can't imagine the municipality approving that name. The Island. Bless you. Oh god, I get it. It's Caitlin. Thank you for counting this out for me. I legit couldn't figure it out. Apparently this year 13 people have been called Thanos so far. This is the definition of a power move. I hate it when people purposefully misspell a word and make it a name. Like today I saw someone had named their kid London and a person from Teen Mom named their kid Serenity. It's not cute, it just makes you look illiterate. To me that's on the same level as the trend a few years ago to name your daughter Nevi because it's heaven backwards. Why not Seknerp or Ijuab? Seknerp sounds like a sound Cardi B would make. Oh god. The woman who named her daughter ABCDE, it's not a joke. It was in the news. Airport workers were fired for making fun of it. Granted this was a small child and has no right to be made fun of. But that mother has caused her daughter to have much more difficult life than necessary. I'd go as far to say it's child abuse. Stupid bitch has no right to be mad about what she caused. I used to be a teacher and had an ABCDE in my class. She hated it, and her parents, so much and said she was legally changing it when she turned 18. Heard a woman yelling at her kids in Walmart a few months ago. Names were Kinslin and Briley. I'm guessing on the spelling. So was she, no doubt. I worked with a girl who was debating on whether she should name her baby Rakin or Weldon. I told my dad and he said well I'd go with Weldon because it pays better. She ended up naming the poor child Weldon. Some runner-ups for worst name ever are Brinkley, Slade, Braxton and Brynel. I worked in a preschool so I saw a lot of crap. Braxton. Double X. Double N, that's just making extra work for yourself. Poor boy will probably spend a month of his life writing unnecessary letters. After living in Utah I have learned that if there is a Y in the last syllable then the name is generally for a girl. I knew a Carson, male, and a Carson, female, a Braxton, male, and a Braxton, female, Payson, male, and Payson, female. After Brexit happened, one of my Facebook friends had a picture of two people holding a baby saying, Mormons be like. Brexit, that's a good name. And Brexit for a female. Jamie Oliver named his kids Poppy Honey Rosie, Daisy Boo Pamela, Petal Blossom Rainbow, Buddy Bear Morris, River Rocket Blue Dallas. They sound like the names you see on the certificate you get when you buy an expensive purebred dog. Let's not forget Frank Zappa's children, Moon Unit, Diva Muffin, Dweezil.
Moon Unit sounds like an insult from Scottish Twitter. Get to fuck your absolute Moon Unit.